What's happening, troops? Welcome back to another episode of the Nae First Touch Podcast. Joined by the regular co-host, it's the man Jack Robertson. What's happening, mate?
What is happening, mate? Not much yourself?
Nah, not too much. But we've got a wee surprise, actually. There's somebody else on the day. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, guys. It's nice to see everybody. How are you all doing? My name's Kirsten. Yeah, yous are stuck with me for today, so have fun with that. Take what you will.
Do you know what? I'm
Please.
loving the jumper.
I knew.
I think I missed the memo.
Listen, it's cosy. It's getting into the winter season.
It's staunch.
Shut up. Do you know, I literally was sitting there about 5 minutes before and I was like, I'm going to get slagged rotten for this jumper. I was like, I know it for a fact, but I want to keep it on. So I was
she's a Celtic fan, by the way, just to give that wee bit of context there.
What was the code to get in? But what was the code to get in this?
The Zoom code had 1967 in it. I've got no idea what Jack was doing with it. Was that did you do that yourself, Jack, or was that Zoom?
I don't generate the codes, unfortunately.
Do you know what I'm going to search?
I was kind of half expecting a wee tune on the guitar for my entrance, but I didn't get one, so I was, I was a bit heartbroken.
I don't know how to play this ass yet.
Oh jeez, never mind. Thank God.
We're going to end up getting the SharpDiv channel cancelled here, didn't
we? Probably.
Jesus Christ! Just no hand gestures, Jack. All right.
No, hands are in here.
It is transfer deadline day whilst we're recording this video. At the moment, there just seems to be a couple of rumours floating about Zunga going to Rangers, Besic and stuff like that. But at the moment, it's no concrete. At the time that this video goes out as well, it's all going to be concluded. So we're a wee bit in the dark. If something breaks during this video, obviously, we will discuss it. But,
do you know what
Jack,
the most shocking thing? Do you know
what
the most shocking thing about deadline day is? I've got it on the telly now, and Jim White's not got his yellow tie on.
That's disgusting.
He's went open collar.
Mate, I'm still raging at the fact that they don't put the presenters outside the stadium anymore. For good reason, obviously. I don't know if you've seen. Did you see anything that... No, but I'm talking about in the past because it's been like 3 years since I've not did that.
Aye, well, the guy ended up getting pure... I've seen the one, the guy get a dog on his ear and all that.
Oh, but those were the days. So, troops... He's happy so far with your club's kind of transfer window. We'll start with you, Kirsten.
Yeah, if we keep Ayer, keep Jam and keep Edward, I'll be happy. If we bring in Laxalt, that's been floated about, that we're apparently getting him, I think we've got a good squad. I think the thing we do need to upgrade on is the left back. Like, no disrespect to Greg Taylor, I just don't think he's fine with the defensive part, but obviously with our 3-5-2 system, I just don't think he's really good at the getting forward thing. Aye. I mean, don't get me wrong, it will take time. He's got a few assists, even a wee goal and stuff, but I just don't think he's really adapted to it as much as when you look on the other side, Frimpong, and you can see just how he is going back and forth. But I think Laxalt would be a good signing. There was talks about Snodgrass coming, but I think that's just fell through. I don't think that's...
Aye. That's been one that's been floating about for years, man. I think
for ages, isn't it?
I think he's gagging for a move to Celtic, to be quite honest.
I think he's seen Shane Duffy and he's just kind of blown up again because it's like,
exactly.
All right, he's away, like he's going to come. I don't think it's going to happen. But other than that, I'm quite satisfied. Obviously, we got David Tumble and stuff. We tried to get him last year, and obviously with injury and stuff, with the medical and that happened. But I'm just buzzing that he came.
Mm-hmm.
Ayeti, he's been brilliant for us so far. Obviously, unfortunate he got injured, but he's looking really, really sharp. So I'm pretty content. I'm pretty happy with that. And obviously, El Yunusi back on loan for another year, so pretty good for us.
Aye, Jack, for the Rangers fan point of view, you happy with us?
I mean, I've not seen enough of Ruth or Written yet to be conclusive on if I'm buzzing with the fact that they signed it and obviously getting 2 goals, but his first one was an absolute cracker. Ruth hasn't really got after what I would want him to be, considering he's a Rangers striker, so I feel like he should be putting some more balls in the net. In terms of Morelos staying, obviously it's not exactly a negative, but in the same breath, if I look at his performance against Ross County there, it wasn't exactly amazing. If I could pick one thing to improve on, I'd be like a backup for Aribo. I think Aribo being injured, we've noticed that, and we've noticed that wee creative flair in there when we play with, like, Arfield maybe has come into come into his boots a wee bit when he's going forward. But in terms of like Ryan Jack, Stephen Davis and Kamara, you're looking at players that are going to want to pass back and pass to the side rather than go forward with it. So apparently this Zungu, I don't know if I'm saying that right, if he's like that kind of creative playmaker and it's going to either play alongside Aribo in certain games or be his replacement when he's injured or out for some reason.
I think the two have summed that up perfectly there. A lot of Celtic fans I've seen saying maybe they do need another left back. To touch on the Greg Taylor point, I think potentially he might have needed a couple more years at Kelly, but obviously with the ball and goalie situation, do you know what I mean? He wasn't really given the time to develop Kelly.
I think he did kind of get chucked in a wee bit. And see, to be fair, when he came, we were playing mainly a four at the back. So I think when he came in the first couple of games he did play, it was four at the back. And don't get me wrong, he has had good spells. It's just sometimes when he goes forward, I think he does get a wee bit of a fright and he always kind of goes back. And it's just, he just kind of needs to, once he's in that final third, just put the ball in. Just put the ball in, cross it. If it comes back out for a corner, that's fine. But just try. Sometimes I feel he does run up, makes a great run. I'll give him that. He does make a good run. Then he'll stop. And I'm like, what are you doing? And it does kind of frustrate me a bit because I'm like, you flip it to the other side, you go to Frimpong and he just goes past his player about 9 times out of 10. So it's like you're wanting it to go from the other end as well. And obviously I've seen what Kieran Tierney done for Celtic and stuff. I think everybody has that kind of, even with Rangers, you know what I mean? Like you have that high expectation, like just do it. But sometimes I do think if a player's not naturally built into that position, he's not used to it, they do get a bit of a fright, they are a bit panicky and they will kind of just go, right, we'll go back the way again. And it is good for sometimes, but when it's constantly happening, it's like, no, we need a change here. We need something, especially with the attacking role that we're trying to, like, obviously go for. He's just not cutting it for me at the moment.
I think that's a good point about Tierney there. Obviously, like he's like a generational player, isn't he? That Celtic have kind of produced, and for him now to come in and kind of fill his boots, it is going to be super, super hard. I do. At Kelly, do you know, the season before Kieran Tierney moved on, I thought that he was the best left back in the league, but he was playing at a team that were super defensive all the time, as you said. And when you talk about like defending, he's right up there. He's really good, but at Celtic, you're needing that going forward. But Jack, just to go back to us then, mate, that Aribo replacement. Do you think that potentially, because we spoke about it previously, that Hadji could maybe do that job, or Scotty Arfield, or do you definitely think that we need somebody like Zungu to come in? Because Stephen Gerrard has even said we need another body. He's made it clear to the board that he wants another kind of powerhouse in there. So do you think it's imperative that we get that guy in, or do you think that the players could kind of be made do?
Aye, well, for me, when Aribo was injured and Hadji went into that role, he played well. But see the way we play football, apparently we keep playing Hadji on the wing. And sorry, somebody was the matter now.
Oh, it's a guest appearance. I remember when I was on the SPFL show, Ryan 118 had his mattress as a guest appearance for half the episodes.
You've got my Spaniel tonight.
Good. As long as it isn't a mattress, we're all good, mate.
No, well, what I was saying, for me, Hadji's best in that number 10 role, sitting behind the strikers. And we just don't seem to play him there. But every time I see the team sheet, I see his name on there and I check the formation and he's on the wing and he's just playing in a position I don't really think he's strongest in. So I'm seeing in like the group chats where the boys are going to football when they're all kind of slating him and saying he hasn't been playing as good as we hope he can play. But I think if you played him in that number 10 role, it would show his real ability. Obviously, Aribo is probably better at it than him in the sense that Aribo, he can run from A to B and the ball doesn't leave his foot. But when Aribo's away, I would love for Hadji to go in there, but Gerrard probably just doesn't see that, and I think that's why this Zungu is coming in, or Arfield will play in that role as well. So I would, if it was me in charge, I would have Hadji in there all day long, but obviously he didn't see it the same way I do.
It could be a case of Hadji sometimes kind of goes in there as well.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? But let's move on then. Who's had the best transfer kind of spell? I'll go first. I think Hibs. I know Rangers have done well, Celtic have done well, but see some of the work that Jack Ross has done there. He's brought in Gogic, who for Hamilton was just an absolute warrior. Every time I seen him play, if he played centre mid, if he played at the back, it was unbelievable. Done a job for Hamilton. He's came in there and he's not nice on the eye, but he's rugged. And I think that's what Hibs have needed. They've needed to kind of concede less goals. I'd have just conceded 2 against Hamilton. But before that, other than the Old Firm games, they hadn't conceded a goal out with in open play. Do you know what I mean? So they've brought in Gogic. They've actually brought in McGuinness today as well from St Mirren, who very, very, very good player, man, for some of the stuff that he's done at St Mirren. Obviously still young, but I think that's a great signing. But the one that has absolutely clinched it for me is Nisbet. And I know he came from Dunfermline, a team that was struggling really, or kind of mid-table in the Championship. But he was right up there with goals with Shankland, and he's continued that form on. We'll talk about Scotland a wee bit later on, but he's probably hard done by not to be in the squad. Do you know what I
mean? Yeah. No, I completely agree with you on that. I'd say that they've done the best. I mean, as you said, brought in Gogic. He was a proper, I know Hamilton, a bottom tier kind of team, but he was a pure powerhouse for them. He would run through a brick wall for them. Do you know what I mean? Anyone he'd play for, every time he played against obviously the Old Firm teams, he was really good. Anytime I seen him. Obviously about McGuinness that came in, I know St Mirren were really, really reluctant to let him go. I know a lot of their fans
they rejected a bid, didn't they? The original bid. Which takes a lot, do you know what I mean, for a team like St Mirren to do, because money in the door, especially during these times, and they've rejected it, and obviously told Hibs that you need to pay this amount of money or you're not getting a player, which I like.
And fair play Hibs, man. They came back and they were like, fine, if this is what you want, we'll take him. So it shows obviously determination that they definitely want to be better than what they did last season. I know at the last season wasn't the best for them starting. They were quite bottom tier and they kind of worked their way up, but they knew, we need to come in here, we need to prove ourselves again. And as you said, Nisbet's been absolutely fantastic. Obviously Boyle, he's been great for them, and they managed to get him on another deal. There was talks of him maybe going elsewhere and stuff, so to get him on another deal's pretty good on that as well. And obviously Jamie Murphy, they got him as well, and Dre Wright and stuff, so they've made a lot of good business, and they've got a good solid team there. So it's just, I know obviously with Celtic and with Rangers, it was a draw and a loss for them, but other than that, they've started this season really, really well, really good. So they'll be a good contender and good to watch. Obviously not when they play against my team and obviously your team, but they are good to watch, and it's quite exciting to see.
I keep getting confused when you say my team because the orange jumper, do you know what I mean? But Jack, do you agree with that then, Jack? Do you think Hibs have had the 100%. Best? Or
100%. So in terms of what Hibs have done is what I think Rangers has lacked a wee bit in its depth. I think they've got a squad now. They're not just a team that they can put 11 players out and hope that one of them doesn't get injured, and then for it, over the course of a season things deteriorate. But I think for this year, I think everybody can tell they're a force to be reckoned with. I think every Rangers fan went into that game a wee bit nervous, and rightly so, because we came away with only a point when we should really be getting there hoping for 3. So I definitely they've put players in positions that they didn't have originally, and they've backed it up with even more depth. So 100%.
Jack Ross is a proper manager. Honestly, he's done really well there. I think he was there for the taking for Hearts as well. Do you know what I mean? Hearts could have went and got him, but they decided to go with Stendhal. So that one kind of worked well. But I've been really impressed with Jack Ross. Obviously, what he'd done at St Mirren, went down to Sunderland. That club was a wee bit on the downward spiral. I don't know if you've seen the documentaries and stuff, but they were a wee bit. I loved his air. See, when he walked in, he just got that whole, you knew he was a gaffer, do you know what I mean? And I like that. And since he's came to Hibs, he's turned them around. I mean, they were down, I think, bottom 2, bottom 3 when he came in or something like that, and he took them right up. And then this season, as you said in the Rangers game as well, I thought his management was good in that day. The Rangers were getting some success doing the wings and stuff like that, and they changed the system. Wasn't afraid to do it. And I have been really, really impressed with Jack Ross.
And what you said as well about Nisbet, I mean, obviously something we're going to talk about later on, but in terms of people that were playing even well at the weekend, I got 2 against Hamilton in a game that finished 3-2. So without his input, they wouldn't be where they are.
I love that guy. I love Nisbet.
The good thing about see Nisbet as well, see even one of the goals, see the header that he scored, it's just the class from him. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes things he does, and he just it looks so effortless. It's just he. Whatever is being done, whatever Jack Ross is setting, he's just playing, and it's just amazing to watch. It's just he's not afraid to take a shot. Even when he was playing obviously against Rangers and stuff, he doesn't care. He doesn't shy away from it, and he'll just go for it 100%. And that's what you need. And that you can definitely see the change from the team, what it was last season to what it is now. They just have no fear in them. They'll just go for it, and that's obviously good for them, and obviously good for the league to see what happens and stuff.
I know. See, even against Celtic, he done well. He had a couple of opportunities, and he got in behind Duffy a couple of times.
He did a good few times, by the way, and he wasn't scared. Obviously,
Nope.
there was a height difference stuff, but he just kept going, and that's a good thing. Like, obviously, see if it was Julian, it could have maybe been a different situation. You know what Julian's kind of like for, like, you know, physical strikers and stuff. So it could have been a completely different story if we had him on the park or anything like that. So
what's the odds that he'll be linked to an Old Firm team the next year?
Who Nisbet? He's already, isn't he? He should be on the sites for sure, because he's came up and he just took to it.
He's done amazing. He's done amazing.
He's been class. But Jack, let's now run through some of the scores for last week. And obviously, Kirsten, going forward, you can get involved in these as well. I don't know if we give you double points or something like that for the next few weeks, but Jack,
bench boost.
Exactly. It's a wee bit squeaky bum time for me, I'm not going to lie. I got off to a stormer, but I think it was like 5 points in it, Jack, wasn't there, going into this weekend?
At one point, you were 9 ahead, and you were 3 ahead last week. Right,
so go run through it, man. What's the script, mate?
Aberdeen v St Mirren, I said 3-0 Aberdeen, you said 2-0, it finished 2-1 Aberdeen, so we both pick up 3 points there. Dundee United v Livingston, we both said 2-1 to Dundee United, it finished 2-1 to Livingston, fair enough. Hibs v Hamilton, so I've got a 4 and a 3, I must have wrote early tap it. I think I said 4-1, you said 2-0, and it finished 3-2 to Hibs, so another 3 points each. Kilmarnock Motherwell, as you know, got postponed for coronavirus reasons, which, by the way, Kilmarnock's game has been cancelled for the Cup. And they're not getting a replay, so they're out.
Yeah, 3 points to Falkirk automatically.
It's the group thing still.
Jesus Christ!
I didn't
even see that.
The SFL is making up rules as they go along these days.
So do you know more on that, Jack? Can you expand on that, or do you know the full extent?
So pretty much. So see how in the league when we had Malarkey Aberdeen with this coronavirus, and we always had Bolingoli, and the games got postponed. It seems to be in the Cup. If it happens, they're no budging.
You just get kicked out. Sort of thing.
Your game's getting put in other team's favour.
That is mental, by the way. That is mental.
So they didn't play this week in the league, or they're not playing tomorrow in the Cup either. But the next game was St Johnstone v Celtic. I said 3-0 Celtic, you said 4-0 Celtic, it finished 2. And then Rangers v Ross County, I said 3-0, you said 6-0, and it finished 2.
6.
So we both got 12 points for that, so it doesn't change. I'm on 56, you're on 59.
I'm happy with that, mate. I'm happy with that. I'll take that.
See, the thing is, the only game we kind of differed on was the Kilmarnock Motherwell game. It's the only game that didn't get played.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That was actually a decent result for Livy, wasn't it? A lot of people expected Dundee United to go down and handle them. Exactly. But Livy has shown that they've got a wee bit. Exactly. I know. They had one of the worst records away from home last season, had one of the best at home. And I think that's a couple of away wins they've got now.
They're decent on the road. I see the thing is, people talk about their home record, left, right, and centre, obviously. But this season, as you said, they've shown they can do it home and away. So it's interesting to see if they can make that last the league and see where they end up.
Aye. Shall we quickly touch on some of the games for the weekend then?
If you want.
Mm-hmm.
That Celtic game was mental. I was just getting ready to go and watch the Rangers game. Do you know what I mean? I'm sitting watching that. I'm like, please. Just hold on, St Johnstone. 89 minutes. Celtic hadn't had one shot on target, and then there's a goal. Kind of out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure it came for a set piece for St Johnstone. Did it know where they kind of waved? Waved. I could not believe that. What's their gaffer doing? What's Davy Boy doing? Callum Davidson? Because for me, you've got to be if you've got a set piece in Celtic's half or whatever. You've got to take that into the corner. What's he doing? They've caught them on the counter, and then it's bang, it's 1-0.
Just bang, aye. It's honestly like I've never been so frustrated. Never been so frustrated in a whole 90 minutes. Like, I was sitting there just so annoyed at the whole thing. Like, see, when I looked at the team sheet and I was like, do you know what? All season I've been like, right, we need to start Tumble. Like, we need to give him a run. Like, anytime he's came on, he's made an impact. Obviously, when he came on against Hibs, pretty sure he came on and got an assist and stuff, and when he's came on I've been really impressed, so I was like, right, quite happy about this. But see, around the whole park, I just thought it was so flat, and Sham was missing passes, Edward wasn't to his best, so I was really, really frustrated watching it, and
he gets subbed as well, didn't he, Edward?
I got subbed, but I was just like, there's no passion here. Like, we could go for 10 in a row, and just like obviously what happened with you guys last season, like, it's the little games you lose points on. Do you know what I mean? So I was like,
Exactly.
you need to go for every game as if it's like the last. Like, what is going on here? Like, I mean, we played up at McDermott Park just before like the game stopped last season, and I swear it was like 3-0 in like 20 minutes.
I think
And
that
I'm
was
like,
the game Forest went on fire, wasn't it, and scored the hat-trick.
it's mad, aye. But I was like, what's going on? Like, how can you go from being so well at home to Hibs to this? And it's like the same team, so I don't know what's going on. But honestly, it was so frustrating because I literally was on the way to get a drink. I was like, right, okay. And then my dad just like, my mum was pure going off and up, man. She was like, oh, shut up. And my dad's actually pure jumping up and down. And I just turned round, and see when I turned round as well, obviously after that goal, that's when Klamala got pure sliced. And I was like, hold on a minute. But see him getting up, man, you wouldn't, see if that was the Premier League, you would not be seeing people, the striker getting back up and going and scoring.
No chance. No,
like,
it was some finish for Gomorrah, so it was really good. He's a player that's kind of been written off, I know, and I don't think he's kind of getting the headlines that he deserves really this season, because he's hardly had minutes, but when he's had minutes, he's scored goals. I know he's missed a couple of opportunities, but you know he is scoring goals. He
tries, and that's all I ever ask. Like, see, as I said, Edward, everybody's like, oh, I love Edward, he's a great player, but
by the way, have you heard the stat? He's had one shot in 3 games.
Exactly, so it's like,
oh my god,
it's like you're sitting there and you're just like, really, like, seriously, he is a great player and I won't ever take that away from him, but you're just sitting there thinking, like, Ayeti, he's like one of the top scorers, and he's had like been on as a sub, and then he's not had anywhere near the minutes that Edward's had. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, he definitely has came. He's proved that he's deserving of the team. Obviously, it's unfortunate he's injured, but Edward, yeah, he scored obviously to get through to the Europa League. But see, if you actually look at that goal, it was a shot that hit off the keeper from Christie, and it was literally a tap-in. So although we scored, right, and obviously I'm buzzing that we got through and stuff, but there wasn't really a lot of talent to it. Like, it was just really a tap-in. Like, it was good that he was there, good positioning and stuff, but I've not really been impressed and stuff. And
but it's a good sign, isn't it, that when you're not playing well, you're still picking up results, and that's kind of something that happened with Rangers there at the weekend as well. We weren't great, do you know what I mean? Like, Ross County never posed any problems at all. We wouldn't have known if McLaughlin or McGregor was in again, Jack, would you have? But I mean, it was at 70th minute, and I remembered like McLaughlin was in goals. You know what I mean? He had nothing to do really the full game. Apart from a couple of opportunities that they probably should have took, but really McLaughlin didn't need to do anything from that. Rangers were kind of flat, would you say, Jack? Kind of a hangover maybe for the Europa League?
To be honest, it seems like a wee theme that's happening in the league this season, maybe bar Livingston and Hibs, that we're going into games and we're winning them, and we're winning them quite comfortably, but we're not really any threat to us. But it seems like, see when we know that we're comfortable, we don't get out that first gear, we don't push in it, and we don't try it and creative. We'll play it quite comfortably, and it looks lacklustre. It looks the same as what you're saying. There's no passion there. It looks like they're just kind of like, right, okay, it's like a job to them almost. But I think one of the things that I've obviously, as I said again, retail worker. I'm working all the time, but I managed to get it on my phone and in the back, having to go through everything.
You better hope your manager's not watching us.
Oh no, she's the one that let me go watch it.
Oh, right, that's quite good, isn't it?
No,
getting paid to watch Rangers, decent.
Exactly, mate.
I thought he was going for a disciplinary meeting the next time he was in there. I was like, oh no, he's
getting a sack.
For what I've seen in terms of the Celtic game and the Rangers game, if both teams play like that on Old Firm Day, it'll be a pretty poor Old Firm as far as they go anyway. But
you just know that it's not going to be, though, is it?
It's going to be mental.
It's going to be a cracker. Honestly, I don't think I've been this nervous for an Old Firm in my life.
I'm not that nervous, to be fair, mate.
I'm very nervous, man.
I think I've only been nervous for one Old Firm, and it was the day that Edward sucker punched us. We made it 3-2. Windass scored. That's the only Old Firm I've ever been nervous for. Yeah.
No, the cup final.
Really... No, I wasn't even nervous for that. I was more excited. Obviously, the semi-final. Do you mean?
So I was steaming by
you talk about the semi-final.
I did it all, man. I was bringing it from.
Nah, it's not really. I don't really get nervous for games, man.
See, I just get buzzing. How much it lies on this year and all. Like, one thing I was going to mention as well. Like, obviously for the Celtic fan pals, it seems like a few of them are a bit disappointed and a bit frustrated with how it's playing. But see, to be honest, Celtic have had one of the best starts of the season they've had in in years. Like, no, obviously no
That's
for
true.
no like for the invincible years, but in terms of starting a league goes points wise and stats wise, they're doing fine. Like, I think it's just because they're not doing it as comfortably as they usually do that there's a wee bit of nervousness there, and where I think that there's a wee bit of no deludedness for Rangers fans, but see, because we're doing it so comfortably and we've slipped up a couple of times, it's like one of the ones that a few people that I know are acting a bit too keen on the whole. This is all year, blah 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 blah. I'm just trying to stay mellow.
One game at a time.
We'll see what happens, man.
One game at a time. It needs to
that's
be.
the thing. That's the thing. But right, because like, see, obviously in the last couple of years, Rangers have been getting better. Whereas, like, as I was saying, no, but like, as I was like, you've definitely improved. I've seen since like when we were playing these and beating these like 5-1 and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, thanks again, Jesus Christ!
Where's the end call button?
But like, see what I was touching on earlier about like Kieran Tierney and then someone coming into left back and us expecting them to be as good as that. It's one of those every year. It's like, right, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and see, at the end of the day, people will make mistakes, you will lose games, you will do this, but we expect so much and just think, right, this is going to be easy, and see, in reality, it's not. Like,
a big
that's
thing
the
I've
thing.
noticed as well is Celtic fan pals as well is I think this is the biggest surprise I've seen. See, I've said since he's had 5 in a row. If he's get 9, I think he'll get 10, just based on the fact that I don't understand why there's no passion there. See when I'm surprised at how like calm the Celtic players seem. Like, see when I watched the Bitsis and Johnson game, and I was like, there was like maybe like a wee sloppy pass, or the one they won in 50-50s, and the one they get into the second ball, and I'm like, if I was going for history in the biggest year in my club's career, I'd be putting my body on the line every single week. I think that's the only thing that I'm getting confused by, which is probably why you're saying that you think the opposite.
Yeah.
They want to get the 9 and then they don't also get the 10. But
mine's just, it's not even based on how teams are playing and stuff like that. Just the way that I look at the 2 9-in-a-row teams is the 2 9-in-a-row teams for the past, obviously, is like, they are unbelievable teams. I just don't think this Celtic 9-in-a-row is unbelievable, so that's why I kind of don't think they'll get the 10. I've just noticed that we hang coming up saying remaining time in the meeting. If we cut off, we'll just need to start again. We'll start again for the beginning, but I'll need to actually do some editing, Kirsten, because in the previous ones I just upload the file, man. So I'm absolutely raging about that. So we'll just move on to the next subject then. It was, what player were you most impressed with from the last weekday there? Mine was Lewis Ferguson, and this is a player that he got another goal in the last minute. He's scoring goals. He's adding that to his game. I think he's had a really impressive start to the season. And I was kind of criticising him a little bit in previous episodes, where I was saying, when I look at him and McCrory, I don't really see how he is, better than McCrory. But if he continues playing the way he's playing, scoring goals, and in big moments, really, in games as well for Aberdeen,
clinical points for them.
He will kind of surpass Ross McCrory, and I've been really, really impressed with him. I don't know what players you guys have been impressed with there in the last match day. If you want to go for it,
Jack, you can go first.
Well, mine's, as I mentioned earlier, is Nisbet for Hibs. I think for me, the reason why is based on the fact that when I seen that game, and I was like, if he's got it in him, he'll do it against the big teams, he'll do it against the A teams, and he's the reason they won that game, in my opinion. Anyway, he got 2 goals in the 3-2 win for Hibs, and it just seems to me his consistency is the shock for me, because obviously he's come out of nowhere almost. Like, nobody really knew who he was last year. So the fact that he's came out and he's done this game after game after game is what I'm getting more impressed by him every single week. Obviously, David's his biggest fan, so.
Well, there's a bigger fan than me. I don't know if you've seen the boy I know called David Buick. He's on another podcast. He's a Dunfermline fan. He loves him. He gets raging because apparently, but I always forget like his name. Do you know, it's either Nisbet or Nesbit, and I always forget. He always gets raging. I think it might be Nisbet, his name. But even Sky Sports, like they spell it as Nesbit. Honestly,
now you said that, I'm like, it could be Nesbit.
Aye, but he's the biggest Nesbit fan for sure.
Fair enough, fine. Well, in terms of this season, I think he's been the kind of star man in terms of out of Old Firm, maybe.
What about you then, Kirsten? Who most impressed you there at the weekend?
I completely agree with the Nisbet. Like, he's just
Nisbet,
been phenomenal. Whatever. No, it's Nisbet. I'm pretty sure it's Nisbet. I'm sticking with Nisbet.
I think it's Nisbet.
But he's been so good. Like, he's not scared to go against the big teams. Like, he'll give 100% every time. And see, I'm not going to lie, see, like last year when he was playing for Dunfermline, I knew of him, didn't really know much of what he was about. But he's taken this league by storm. He's doing really, really well. Also, just a wee shout out for that wee Erihan from St Mirren. His goal was a screamer. Did you see that?
No, I didn't even see it.
Oh, it was a brilliant goal. It was literally just smashed it right into the top corner like that. It was a brilliant goal. So definitely he's.
They're going to need more of them though, aren't they? St Mirren.
No, they are. That's the thing. They are. They're going to
need more bodies.
More.
They need big Obika for some goals to hit him in the face and stuff like that, don't they? They need more for him.
I somehow getting the goal just without meaning it, just like turn round, smack.
That's what he does. That's what big Obika does. It's just mad.
Hits off the side of his body, and he's just like, "I sound cool." Crack. Doesn't even know it's in half the time, to be honest with you. But if it gets in the back of the net and you get 3 points, who's complaining?
Right, I am absolutely raging about this saying 5 minutes 50 remaining because I'm going to
see it.
Honestly see the render times on my editing software as well. It's absolutely ludicrous. So it is. It's absolutely ludicrous.
You only drag and drop them in each other.
I don't care. It's a render time. Jesus. I've got one wee question for you, right? Because I think the next segment is a wee teaser. I just want to ask you a wee question before we end this bloody call when I need to start it off again. But
at least the next one won't have 1967.
This is a question about me. Obviously, we've got Kirsten on today.
Right.
It's a female football question. I want to know if you guys can guess who my favourite female footballer is. Jack, I want to start with you.
I'm going to lie, right? I don't know a lot about lasses football.
I think I know what you're going to say. You're either going to say the first person I'm going to say. I think you might say, because I know she's a great footballer.
Oh no!
And I know she supports Rangers.
Oh no!
And I think it might be Erin Cuthbert.
How have you done that then?
Because I know.
This is going to look bad. This is going to look. It's Erin Cuthbert. She's an absolute baller, Jack. If you've not seen her play, she plays for Chelsea. I've seen her in the World Cup.
Massive Rangers fan as well. So
I know. I've seen that. But the first time I seen her was during the World Cup when I was watching the Scotland games. And Jack, if you've not seen her, she's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Scotland doesn't have a lot of world class players in the men's game. Bloody hell, she's world class. She's right up there, isn't she? She's good. She's really, really good. It's nice, but obviously it's nice to see like the Scottish players do well, but even like the Scottish female players doing well as well. Obviously, I know Billy Gilmore's down in Chelsea. He's causing it down there as well. So having Erin Cuthbert there down for the women's team is really good for her as well. And she's lovely. Like I've met her a few times as well. So she's really nice. And obviously she's a really big Rangers fan as well.
Dev's jealous of that one, isn't he?
Like she's class. No, she's really good.
Honestly, she would nutmeg me in a telephone box with a beach ball. Seriously, she would kick a jobby through a letterbox. I'm telling you. I've not got any more. No. I've not got any more. Like quick break, and then we'll come back to this. Let me just try and jump cut this a belter here, right? Aye, so it's Erin Cuthbert, but brilliant for you there. What a guess that is. Jack, have you got another teaser for us, mate?
Oh, don't I have a belter for you, David?
Go for it. Quick shout out to, who is it? Oh, actually, it's on my notes. I think he was called Sheriff12.
12, aye.
Aye, Sheriff12. He put in the word guitar that was at the end of the last episode. If
very,
you watched
very nice.
He was the guy who did it.
I forgot all about that, and I just thought he was just buzzing about the guitar, and I was like, yes.
I
you're like, yeah.
Just couldn't be arsed writing anything else, just wrote guitar.
By the way, just a quick update before Jack says his wee teaser. Everybody is going mental on Twitter. Well, I say mental, right? Not really. But Celtic's like changed their bio, basically saying to like activate their notifications in another language. So obviously, I think that's hinting that they're signing someone. Aye.
Just keep a wee eye on that then. Something happens.
Something might be happening soon. Aye.
Perfect.
Hopefully.
Well, this is going to be another wee table kind of question, as you done with me the first time when you done the What was the first one you done again?
Who's won the Scottish League?
Something like that. And then I was like, who's won the Scottish League, like League Cup or something, Scottish Cup, something like that. Well, I've went for the Big Daddy here, the all-time Premiership league table.
All time?
From one to so since Scottish football became competitive to now.
Right, I'll go first then. I'll say the first team. It's Rangers, obviously, at its top.
So I'm going to ask for teams that are both of you one at a time, and
Right.
you need to guess the team and you need to guess the position.
All right, okay. Right, I'm going Rangers number 1.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. You've really
What?
picked a question. You've picked a question that's mugged us right off you.
No, Mugs is right off at all because we're not actually that
oh
far
no.
behind them. We're not actually that far behind them. We spent like 7 seasons in the league.
Right, okay, right. I'll go Celtic number 1 then. Just
There you go. You said that.
wait.
Is that it?
Could it be Celtic up top?
That's disgusting. Oh, I'm raging at that.
I'm trying to. I don't.
I mean,
Rangers
Celtic-
number 2.
Correct.
Wow.
Right.
Do you know the points difference?
No.
I'd say, look, I'm bad at this, mate, so it's probably like 100 points or
Is it
something.
pure mental?
So Celtic are top
two
with 8,736 points.
Mate, what the hell?
Rangers are second with 8,576 points.
Mate, that's mental, man.
Who's
That is
in
mental.
third? Who's in third and how many points do you think they've got?
So it's you, Kirsten.
I'll go with something like Hibs.
Incorrect.
Hey, I'm going. I'm
We're
going.
gonna be here for hours, man.
I know. I'm going Aberdeen in third.
No.
What?
What? Right.
Gonna have to rush you.
I'm not going for an obvious one, so I'll go for like who did I say? Hibs, right? Hearts.
Correct.
I'm getting battered.
We have Hearts in third. Who's in fourth, David?
I am getting battered here. Can I just like do a mad curveball? I'll
There you
go
go.
Kilmarnock in 13th.
Oh.
It's only to 12, mine, because it's the league.
Oh.
Right. I thought you said 20, so I'll go Kilmarnock
Mate.
in 8th.
Oh, he's absolutely done it.
Oh. Right.
Talk to me. Right, Alexa, you can turn that off now.
So it's 2 each.
That's mad. What are we on? 4th?
So you've got
Or you
fourth,
can
fifth,
you can
sixth,
randomly
seventh,
guess if you want.
9th, 10, 11, 12.
I'll go 4th. Fuck. Motherwell.
Nope.
Fuck.
Right, I'm going Motherwell in 9th.
No.
Oh no.
I'll go Aberdeen 4th.
Correct. Oh, it's 3-2. It's
Shit.
3-2.
I should have did that, shouldn't I? I was trying to get
Shoulda.
cocky. Right, I'm going Dundee United in 5th.
5th.
No.
No!
I'm
I'm greeting.
trying to think of what I said. Motherwell 5th.
Nope.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Right, I'm going Hearts in 5th. Have they been said?
I've already said Hearts.
Hearts are third.
Right, it's getting late, man. Anyway, we'll see you later.
Well, I he's fifth.
Aye, give us 5th.
He's 5th, aye.
Hibs.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, so let's run us through it. What have we got so far?
So,
1st to 5th and 8th?
Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, Aberdeen, Hibs.
Right.
You've flung the curveball of Kelly in 6th.
That was
eighth,
my
sorry.
highlight. That was my highlight. Since then, I've said a team that have already been said, and I've messed up the other one. Is it your shot, Kirsten? I think it is.
Aye. What's the next one I can go for? 6th?
6th for that.
I'm gonna go for something like Partick Thistle.
No. So, well, I'm gonna give you the remaining teams, and you
Oh,
can guess
yeah,
that.
right.
you can
Right,
guess
okay,
that
aye,
one,
right, okay, this is a bit easier.
Okay, so the main teams you've not got yet is St Mirren, Dundee United, Motherwell, Partick Thistle, and Falkirk.
Okay.
I'll go.
Where are they?
I'm going St Mirren in last.
No.
I'm gonna go. Do you know what? I'll go like Falkirk last then.
Correct.
I'm just trying to think of like pure team.
Oh my
I
God.
kept going for the ones in order. I was like, I'm on the other end.
Surely you can get 6th.
Hamilton. Nah, I've fucked it. That was just for the meme, to be quite honest. I think I'm done here, Jack. I think I'm finished, mate.
Right, I'll read through them, right?
I have been battered.
So, the all-time league table goes Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, Aberdeen, Hibs, Motherwell, Dundee, Kelly, St Mirren, Partick Thistle, Dundee United, and then Falkirk.
Fair play to Falkirk getting in there.
I know.
So, I have a bonus question.
Said them. Oh God!
But you can either use this as the comment question or you can use it for yourself.
Can I get double points for this? Because I think I am dead last.
We'll say if Div gets this, it's a draw, and if Kirsten gets it, she takes the dub.
What is it? First person to say it, or what?
You both get to say an answer if it's the same answer.
No.
Or you can buzz in. You can buzz in if you want. Who is the lowest ranking current Prem team?
I'll go. Oh shit! Wait. Oh my God! I will go.
In the whole list of Scottish teams, who's ranked the lowest in terms of teams that are in the Prem now?
So teams that are already in there, and we need to go for the lowest.
So see, in terms of every Scottish team that's played in the Premiership.
Oh my God!
Who's the lowest ranking that currently, in this day and age, is in the Premiership? And
what in terms of that table?
Aye, they've accumulated 283 points.
What?
And
in the top league?
And they're in the top league now.
Right, I think I've got my answer.
Right, go.
I am going to go for, this could be terrible, this could be shock. I'm going Ross County.
Okay, Kirsten.
I think I'm
going to go, I'll go Hamilton.
I was going to go Hamilton.
But you thought it was too obvious and I was going to go that or St Johnstone. I was like, nah, I'll go Hamilton.
It is actually Livingston.
Right, so you win.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's a good shout. I thought Ross County had just been made up like 20 years ago or something, so that's why I went for them. I've just... my levels of anxiety are through the roof right now because I've just been absolutely battered. I'm away to study.
Numbers going round your head, man. You're like that. You're like...
Oh, it's like that meme. Man. That meme with the guy for the hangover. Or the wee algebra and all that pop up. I knew I should have listened in maths for the algebra. But anyway.
I don't think I would have guessed Falkirk in that, to be honest with you. Fair play.
I was going to say Falkirk.
I wasn't going to say it. But then I was trying to think if you're like weird random teams that like...
I was also
big, but...
I was also thinking Partick Thistle. You obviously said them. I was thinking Falkirk, but I thought because they'd been out the league for so long, they wouldn't be there, but they must have just hung on. Jesus Christ. Right, next segment. Scotland. Jesus, Scotland. We need to talk about Scotland. Unfortunately, we need to talk about Scotland. On Thursday, we play Israel in the semi-finals of the Nations League, followed by Slovakia on Sunday, Czech Republic on the Wednesday. The squad: Marshall, McLaughlin, McCrory, O'Donnell, Robbo, Cooper, Palmer, Porteous, Tierney, McKenna, Gallagher, Taylor, Fleck, Fraser, McGregor, McTominay, McGinn, Armstrong, McLean, Christie, Jack, Patterson, McBurney, Dykes, Shankland, and Ollie Buck. You heard me, yes. Ollie Buck makes the squad again. But Jack, are you feeling confident for this Israel game, mate? I know you don't watch Scotland. Are you feeling confident? Or what's the script?
I mean, I think it'd be silly for a Scottish fan to be confident anymore. I feel like I feel like every game we go into, it could be Israel reserves, and we could be the bookies could have it 35-1 for Israel even turn up, and they still beat us. So to say confident, no, I'm not. But in the same breath, we've got a performance in us. I know that for a fact. So
you're telling us there's a chance?
So you're saying I'm saying there's a chance, aye.
That's a good wee reference, I don't know.
Right, I'm saying that there's a chance, but I'm not going to be at all surprised if we don't get a result.
If you go off of the previous results, obviously the most recent, we absolutely fluffed our lines. But before that, we beat them home and away, I'm sure. And I think Forest scored a hat-trick in one of the games or something like that. I was actually at the 3-2 game at Hampden when we beat them. They've got a couple of really good players, man, to give them credit. At the back, they look solid. They've got a couple of Celtic players at the back, get beat on. They've got El Hamed, and then they've got Marciano, the Hibs goalie, and goals. I think it's going to be a difficult game. Like, see if this was like a few months ago, like before lockdown or whatever, I thought we were going to win the game. I bought a ticket and everything for the game. I'm not confident. I am not confident. Kirsten, what do you think?
I don't know. It's one of those. I've got past the phase of being like, do you know what, we can do this, and then it's like, it's just not going away. Like, see,
Celtic signed Diego Lacazette on loan. Lacazette, what's his name?
AC Milan boy.
Lax out.
That guy, it's big breaking news on the telly right now.
You've got a new left back.
Thank fucking God, man. Honestly, brilliant. Thank God, man. But it's one of those, looking at the squads, reading out the names, there is some names I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, like, what? But then there is some names that I'm like, do you know what? You deserve it, and there's good individual talent there, but see what I think, see when we all come together, I don't know what happens, but we just can't do anything right. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, if for the first like 10-15 minutes you're like, right, okay, and then it all just falls apart, and you're like, right, okay, smashing, brilliant. But I don't know. I hope we win.
Obviously, man. I don't think Clark knows his best 11, and I also think I feel like we don't really have a striker that you can rely on. Like we could maybe Shankland could be that man, maybe Nisbet could be that man going forward. Even Griffiths he came on, didn't he? But we don't know what's going to happen with him. But I'm not really trusting the rest of them. I mean, we've got Patterson that played right back for most of these days.
And Burke, I know he just went to United, like, but come on, man, he was like, I didn't even rate him when he was at Celtic. Do you know what I mean?
Ollie Burke's a sprinter. He's not a fit roper.
Yeah, he just runs, man. Just runs. That's it. He's going.
He's Gareth Bale, right? Scottish version, but with no football talent.
I think it's sums Scotland up to a T in terms of football in general, as our two best players are the same position.
That's right. I think we also, I think another thing that we kind of struggle with is we don't have that balance in midfield. I feel like we've got a lot of similar players in there. We've got a lot of really talented centre midfielders. Do you know what I mean? Like, you run right through them. Other than McTominay, I don't rate. Sorry if you guys do, but
I don't rate him really, to be honest.
Nah, like, if you look at who we've got here, like, Callum McGregor's a brilliant football player. McGinn's a brilliant football player. Ryan Jack, Armstrong, even McLean's alright. Christie's good. McTominay's probably at the bottom of that, but no, Kenny McLean's got to be the bottom of that. No, fuck it, I'm putting McTominay at the bottom of that. We've got a lot of good, gifted centre midfielders for sure. We just don't really have that balance. We don't have. Do you know what I mean?
I feel we clash too much. See, because a lot of people are quite similar, it's just too much the same. Like, you've kind of got Armstrong and Christie pushing forward, and then you've got obviously McTominay, Jack, McGregor, who are happy to sit back and do that. I think it just kind of gets a bit muddled. Like, there's too much, like, see, even obviously, as I was saying at the weekend, like with the Celtic and all that, there's too much going on. There's too much similarities in the middle of the park that it's just something's going on over there and something going on over there. Like, nothing's actually properly moving the game from left to right. It's just a bit.
There's a lot of them that are really good at controlling a game. Like Ryan Jack and McGregor kind of spring to mind in that. But for me, just pick one of them. Do you know what I mean? Just pick one of them, and that's going to be the guy that's going to go out there and kind of control the game.
Command the game, aye.
Exactly. I think he's picking too many of them. So just pick one of them and pick an engine like McGinn. I think McGinn's he's nailed on, isn't he? Because what he's doing the Prem's brilliant. And he's a different player for a lot of them. He's got that engine and go forward. He can score a lot of goals and stuff like that. But for me, I just pick a system and just kind of stick to it. Pick some personnel and stick to it as well. And potentially, man, you can start getting results. Hope so. We're not very optimistic.
We have got the players. Like you said, I think what you've said is perfect there, because we need the team to gel. We need the team to work together. That's one thing I've noticed with kind of days. We've got the talent, but we don't know how to be a team. And if you keep the same system and play it as a team, we'll get there eventually.
I want to get your thoughts on this though, Jack. To the tail end of last season there, Gilmour was absolutely on fire. Bossed Liverpool. I think he'd have played against Bayern Munich in the Allianz with the form that he was on. He was doing some crazy good things, but he never get caught up to the national team. Do you know what I mean? He get called up to the under-21s. Got a guy in there, Porteous, that isn't really doing... He's not really catching the headlines for me for the right reasons, but he's picking him because he's young and, he shows potential. Surely if he's picking him, guys like him, Gilmour needs to be in the next squad.
I don't know
when he's back fit, obviously.
I honestly don't know how he can pick Gilmour. He's probably the hurtful thing for me is when he was at Rangers, we didn't really give him that chance, and I don't think he would have really got the chance. But I think Chelsea was the best move for him. But he's proved that he's got the talent. He's bossing that midfield when he comes on in the Premier League, probably apparently the best league in the world, and he's coming on there dancing in that midfield, taking the ball by Liverpool, who are apparently the champions of Europe, champions of England, probably one of the best teams we've seen in a while.
Last night though.
But he's bossing the game, so it's one of the ones you look at and you think, is he not seeing what we're seeing?
I know, definitely. You spoke about Billy Gilmour earlier, Kirsten. Do you agree with that? Do you think he maybe deserves to get a call up? And how do you rate him as a football player?
Listen, I think he's brilliant. Like he's. See, at first I was a wee bit like, who is he? Like, what can he do? Obviously, he got the big move. I didn't really see much of him. See, when he came on, see even that game against, as you said, Liverpool, man. See the passes he was picking out, just pinging them left, right. He pure turned. Was it Fabinho inside out? He said. Honestly, I was like, this guy's mental. Porteous, he's good. But I think, Billy Gilmour's been catching the headlines a lot more, as you said. But I think the reason we're not bringing Gilmour in is, as we've discussed, see that midfield, it's too many of like the same people. See if we had more of a structure, have an engine, have somebody else sit back and maybe have an extra one, he'd definitely get in. Just like, obviously in future, I hope Nisbet gets in as well, because he thoroughly deserves it a lot.
I'm actually going to phone the police after this, because Steve Clark has committed a crime. Patterson, but
what's the script
in front of Nisbet? Do you know,
it's an international war crime.
It is, aye. It is. That's what I'm going to say. I'll say that to the police. I'll see what I can do. I'm not promising anything, but he should be arrested for that, because that is criminal.
Do you know what else is criminal?
Time of some sort, man. That's dire.
Do you know what else is criminal? The fact that your calendar still says July, Kirsten.
Listen, it's not right. I've not changed it.
So wait a minute.
My dog's so cute, but.
So wait a wee minute. You've got the orange jumper on and you've got the July up. What's going on?
Oh no. Yeah, it's a pure cute dog, but sorry.
Sorry.
I really need to be pure, man. This year's been a bit wild, right? He's cut me some slack, man. Come on. I've not left the house, man. Working from home, it's... Oh, Jesus, man. Don't know what daylight looks like.
On the wall, man. Couldn't write it.
Honestly, man.
See, to be fair, I don't know my arse with my elbow at this point, man. It could be March for all I know. It's this year's been mental.
Don't know if I need a shite or a haircut.
What?
Don't know if I need a shite or a haircut.
Exactly. I went bald and everything. I had to go bald.
You done the baldy, didn't you?
Aye, I done about 4 baldies. Like I done the original baldy, and then I tried to have like baldy fades that one just looked like I had a bowl on my napper. Aye, man. But should we just jump into some predictions then for these games? I know it's quite hard getting a prediction for like the Slovakia and Czech Republic games, but let's just do it. Let's just do it for the lols.
Go for it.
Why don't I kick his off then? I'll kick his off for the Israel game. Right. So we've just been talking about how shite Scotland are. But in true typical Scottish fashion, I'll go 2-1. Why not? To Scotland. I don't know. It could be the other way, it could be 1 each. I don't even know if there's penalties or anything like that. I don't know how it's going to work. But I'll just go 2-1.
I'm just going to be ballsy and put it out there. I'll go 3-1.
To Israel, aye?
No.
What about you?
Is it Hampden, aye?
Is that Hampden, mate? I was buzzing. I was excited to go to this game. Do you know it was going to mean something? Semi-final. I think we'll probably play Denmark in the final, which that's not going to be great.
That'll be hard.
Let's not beat about the bush. Aye, we find Israel hard. Never mind fucking Denmark.
Denmark, man. I think it'll be I don't know. I'm going to go for 1-0. I think it will be one of those games that we'll get like an early goal and it'll just be like crapping yourself for the like other remaining 70 minutes of the whole time. Do you know what I mean? So I think it'll be one of those, but hopefully we get a win.
After that, we go into, I believe the Slovakia and Czech is like the next Nations League, even though we're still playing, obviously, this year's Nations League or whatever. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. But we play Slovakia on Sunday. They've got some decent players themselves. I've been to Scotland, Slovakia, and we beat them 1-0. It was a tight game. I think this is a game that we might come unstuck. I think I'm going to go Slovakia 1-0.
I'll say Slovakia 2-1, to be honest.
What about you, Kirsten?
I'll go 1-1. Just
one
to
each.
be different. Aye. Just to be different.
Have you
Get a wee
noticed-
loss, a wee win and a draw there.
Have you noticed how buzzing we are about these predictions?
Look, we're bouncing off the wall, man, honestly, man.
I'm sitting here looking at the SPFL ones, like, oh man, the tasty pictures. I'm like, Scotland 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1, aye.
I know. See, if Nisbet was in the squad, I'd maybe be a wee bit more excited. Or Dougie Emery. I love Dougie Emery.
Or if Gilmore was in the squad, you'd be a wee bit more buzzing and all, but...
I know. So, we gave our predictions there, didn't we? Jack, did you give yours?
Aye. 2-1 to Slovakia.
Right, so Czech Republic. I'm going 1 each. I'm going to copy you on that because I think we'll bounce back for that. Poor result against Slovakia and we'll draw 1 each.
I'll go. I don't see that being a comfortable game. The fact that they put out their ball boys and they struggled, I'll say 2-0 to them.
Could be. We'll see. What about you, Kirsten?
I'll go with a wee 2-1 to them. I think we'll do well. But I think they'll just like clinch it at the end or something. It'll be like a pure daft goal they score to like win it or something like that, and it'll just be like the usual that happens to us, really, to be honest. Just the same old. So.
At the weekend.
Oh, shush.
The enthusiasm's just through the charts for Scotland, as you can all see. People that are watching. It's no fun.
If you've made it past this part, well then.
Congratulations.
You've done well. You've done really well. Have we got to do predictions for the next round, or what should we do? Because I think we should do a podcast next week, and it's almost like an old firm like build up
sort of thing.
And then we'll do the predictions. Jack,
I've got mine ready, so they'll stay that way. So I'll leave it
written down.
Watch this, somebody will break their leg in international break or something and it will just go tits up. See, touching on that, like a lot of 3 games now in like a week gone into the Old Firm. I know Neil Lennon was in the press conference like moaning about it, and I'm pretty sure Gerrard won't be happy. Like Morelos gets back on Friday, the Old Firm's on the Saturday. It's going to be a tight turnaround, man, for this. I'm hoping it's like still a good spectacle. It could even work in the reverse, where you said earlier, Jack, could be kind of a cagey affair. Could just be all out. If they're tired, could be a lot of goals. I'd like that, but in Rangers fashion, obviously.
Without giving predictions away, what is your thoughts?
I think we save it.
Oh, okay.
But we're going to pump them. Kidding on. Right, finally, I think we'll move on to some of the fan topics that we fired into the chat earlier. Liverpool United. I know we've talked about it a wee bit. Wow. I thought, after that
has to be the biggest upset I've seen live.
The Liverpool one, that could have been 10. That could have been 11. Like the boy Ollie Watkins. I was giving him it stinking and all as well, that Ollie Watkins. I made the video.
He missed a one-on-one after he's on his hat-trick.
He did, to be fair. He could have had 5 goals. He could have had easily 5 goals. There was I think Villa fans moaning about like if they were going to spend 30 million on Edward, and I made a video where I was talking about Scottish and English football, and they were talking about signing this boy Ollie Watkins, and I kind of roasted him a wee bit by saying like comparing him to Edward, which I would still say maybe he's a better player. It's still early days for Watkins, but he's made me look a right mug by scoring a hat-trick.
I mean, I think to be fair, I think if you put Edward in the positions he was in, Edward puts him away and all. Like, so it's harsh. It would be harsh to say one's better than another, but it's funny that you're saying he's linked things like that. What's this all about? Who's this Watkins?
See, it's like that meme, you know. It's like when someone says something, it's like hold my beer, and then they go and do it. It's like one of those. If you're heard you, if you watch that video, and he's like, mate.
And he probably needs to get a translator though.
Probably, man. Oh, well, John McGinn's in the team, so he probably just sat there and went, here, what's he saying, by the way? Is he slating me?
Even I don't know what John McGinn says, man.
Or John McGinn just kind of hyped him up, going, no, he says you're fucking brilliant, mate, and that's why he get the confidence to go out and do that at Liverpool. But see, to be fair, I think the three of us would have scored a hat-trick in that game. Like, Adrian was like a mannequin in the goals. It was absolutely horrific. It was, oh wow.
It's one of the ones, I don't mind Liverpool, quite like them. I'm not one of these anti-Liverpool people, but it was funny to watch. I'm not going to lie.
It was absolutely hilarious.
I like Liverpool myself. I like rooting for them. They've been brilliant in the last few seasons. But after it got to like 5, I was like, I want this to be 10. I want this to be 10 just for a laugh. I want this to be mental. But obviously the Manchester United score as well. They went down to 10 men. They at least had an excuse. But still not good enough, is it?
I don't think it was a red card.
I think it was a yellow. I think it should have been either a red for both or a yellow for both. I don't think you can give one more punishment than another. It was both players.
Yeah.
Kind of reacting to stuff.
I agree, man. But unfortunately, that's the rules. If you raise your hand, but it was a touch. It was nothing, wasn't it? No, it was.
It was quite pleasing to see stuff go against Man U at Old Trafford for a change.
See, to be fair, since Fergie's left, a lot has.
I know, man. That's one of the things I was going to touch on earlier when I talked about Tierney. Like, when Tierney left, Celtic have been struggling to find that left back that's filling his gap. Man U have not. They're not obviously going to find a Sir Alex Ferguson like that again, but they've not found anybody that's been able to get that Man U back. They've not been the same ever since. And I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think when we predicted the league table, we had them quite high up. But I think Everton are going to win it.
I would love it if Everton won it.
Mate,
it'd be good. What do you think, Kirsten, about that result? Mental, wasn't it?
That was mad. Like, it was one of those, like, see, even the first goal for Tottenham, you're kind of like, what's going on here? Just see, it was like ping pong, man. It was just like, you're like, is this seriously happening? Like, and everyone, obviously, it's like one of the best leagues and stuff in the world, but like, just sometimes you do kind of sit and watch it and go, what is going on here? Like, these are like, obviously growing up, you're like Man United, Sir Alex Ferguson, when he was managing them, mad, absolute scenes like every week. And then you see it now and you're like, what is actual going on? Like, what's the script? But see that Luke Shaw one at the end, when what he did to Lucas Moura when he pure swiped him out,
that was stinking.
I think that should have been a red. The one with Pogba and Lamela, like, both are yellow, like, because it's just, you can't give it for one and another, as Jack said. But it's just, see, watching it now, man, it's just, as you said, it's not the same United. It's just, it's quite sad, obviously, to watch it from what they were to now. And it is, like, if I was a Man United fan, I'd be absolutely gutted, to be fair. I
mean, they're trying to spend 90 odd million and upwards of 90 odd million on a forward player. They're already top heavy. Do you know what I mean? They maybe need another body in the midfield, potentially. Yeah. But for me, I don't think they brought Telles in. They've obviously got Van de Beek as well, but it's yet to be seen if they're going to go in and shore it up, because I think they need somebody in like a CDM role like Kante. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I like Matic. I think he's good and stuff like that. And there's a lot worse players than him I'm just going to talk about. But I think they potentially need that. But as I said, they're spending all this money on forwards. The back line is atrocious. They spent 50 million on Van Bissaka for his potential. It's similar to the Greg Taylor situation. Going forward, he's stinking. The two centre-halves, Harry Maguire, 75 million. Wow, he's not a Man United player. And Luke Shaw is off it. He is terrible.
Aye, definitely. He's
very injury prone as well, that Luke Shaw. Like, yes. he'll be all right for like 2-3 games, and then he's like out for like the rest of the season. Like, it's mad. Like, they need to improve the back line, because it's not going to get better. You can spend all this money, as you said, on like forwards and stuff, but you need to fix the whole team, like the defence and stuff, because it's just, you're not going to get in. It's no, obviously your strikers need to score, but defenders need to defend. Like, it's a team game. Like, they just need to sort it out from start to finish. Once they do that, I think they'll be on track again. But they'll need to start, and they'll need to maybe make a few more signings in the next couple of hours. But we'll see what happens with them.
Yes. Right. Last wee topic, guys. Who's your dream transfer? Who is your dream transfer
realistic
for your club? No, it doesn't. It's a dream. Do you know what I mean? So you're
dream?
just
okay.
Aye. Just let your imagination go wild. If you've got yours, okay. I've already got mine.
I've got mine. I've got a few.
Yeah,
you've got a few.
I've got a few. Yeah.
Right, on you go then. Go for it.
Right, so before we signed a left back during this live stream, I went Alphonso Davies, man. He's mad. He is mental. So I was like, see if I had a left back choice, who would I choose? And after like his season and stuff, I'd more than likely choose him. He's unbelievable. He's absolutely amazing. Centre back wise, I was like, right, if I was getting another centre back, who would I get? Do you know who I quite like? That Hernandez, who plays centre back for Bayern as well. He's really good. And if I was like, right, I've chose 2 defenders, let's choose someone up front. Haaland. Imagine having him and Edward up front. You'd actually be like, mate, that's mad, that's mental. But I can dream. It's not going to happen ever.
Actually, I went a similar route to you. I've went Haaland as well. I love that guy. He's unbelievable.
He's amazing.
He's finishing is top notch, man. It's top dollar. I think he's going to be the best striker for years to come. And he's got a lot of development still today. So he's got the pace, he's got the height, and then at the end he's got the finish. It's just in the corner every single time. It's unbelievable. He's scoring 2 or 3 a game. And what I love about him as well is he just loves scoring goals. I love that in a striker. He is raging. He could be on 2 or 3 goals and he's fuming if he misses a chance. I absolutely love that about him. So he would be my dream signing. What about you, Jack?
Probably gonna have to cuff in terms of players who I think you could put in at St Mirren and they would win games for you. I would go Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh my God!
I mean, you can put him in any team, and he'll make them good.
I feel like I shouldn't have put this topic in because now I'm just feeling very bad about our current circumstances. I want Haaland. I want Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne in the team now, man. Jesus Christ Almighty!
I mean,
but
we can all dream, can't we?
We can all dream. We can all dream. I'm dreaming of hitting 1 million subscribers. Do you know what I mean? That's not going to happen.
You get there. You will get there.
Oh, thanks very much. We need to hit 14k. We need to hit 14k first. So if you could subscribe, that'd be fucking great. But yeah, I think that's going to do us. Kirsten, I thoroughly enjoyed having you on. By the way,
thanks.
You get any closing words?
Here's hoping that Scotland do well.
Where did you get the jumper? Let's just leave it on that for yourself.
Is it Crystal?
It's nice.
A wee JD number or
we ASOS number. We Klarna. Don't worry about it. Klarna Pay. Come on. That and a few pairs of gutties.
Being a wee boy.
I'll come on the next one. I've got a few baldy or something like that, man. Honestly, you'll be like, what's the script?
I'm that. Is it March? Is it actually March? But, right, Jack, you get any closing words, my man?
Just that. Well done to Kirsten for our first appearance. It's been done better than me. My first appearance anyway.
She's been brilliant.
Thanks. I'm just glad I got that blooming table right. The pure guessing. You need
to find an instrument you can play.
I'm the singer.
That's your topic for. We'll make a wee band. That's your topic. That's your goal for next week. Find an instrument.
I'll bring a triangle and we can just say something about that. And...
Take skill.
Yeah. Tell you what. My music teacher told me I was an absolute wizard on the xylophone. So I might turn that.
There you go, man.
There you go.
I mean, we're halfway there. We're halfway there.
I totally made that up. But I look forward. I'll look forward to the wee sing song later on next week before the Old Firm, but we'll keep it PG, obviously, for obvious reasons. But groups, if you have enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video as well. That'll help out a lot, and I'll leave the others' Instagram in the description if you want to go and check them out as well. But thanks for watching.
Follow the Nae First Touch one.
And your Instagram as well. Aye. I'm thinking about kind of changing up the marketing strategy on that and posting more clips. So definitely go and give that a wee look as well. See you on the next one. See you later.